You're on the couch and she trots over, drops her squeaky toy right on your lap. You think, she just wants to play. Here's the twist, she's sending you a message you've been missing. In this video you'll uncover 5 hidden reasons your dog brings you her toys. And number 4. It will change the way you reply forever. Stay with me. First signal, the classic play invitation, but it's more than fetch. When she positions that ball at your feet, she's testing your focus. Animal behaviorists have found dogs use object exchanges to gauge our engagement. It's her polite way of saying, I want your attention, but I'll follow your lead. If you always drop the toy without looking up, she learns you're tuned out. Next time she offers up her raggedy plushie, pause. Kneel to her level. Hold her gaze for a beat. Then mirror her posture, lean in, soft eyes, and say, shall we? That simple move tells her you're present, you're in her world, and you're ready to connect. It deepens her trust and makes play feel like a true partnership. Now, here's the practical payoff. When you answer her play invitation on her terms, you'll see her tail wagging grow wider, her stress signals fade faster, and your every game transforms into a language you both speak fluently. If you recognized your dog right there, in that gentle test of attention, and you'd like a clear, step-by-step way to decode every toy drop moment, open the guide in the description. It shows you exactly how to read her next move and respond in a way that builds calm confidence. Next, you're in the kitchen, chopping veggies, and suddenly there's a soft thunk at your feet. You assume she's just being a pest. But this isn't about stealing your focus, it's a clever self-soothing tool. When dogs feel a spark of boredom or a flicker of anxiety, they'll seek out a familiar object. By nudging you with her favorite squeaky, she's saying, I need something to calm my mind, and I trust you to help me. In that moment, she's looking for a co-regulator, someone who can slow down, meet her there, and share a peaceful minute. The next time this happens, set down that knife, bend your knees, and meet pressure with pressure. Ask her to settle beside you, maybe offer a gentle pet as she holds her toy. You'll be teaching her that together you can turn a flutter of stress into a shared moment of calm. Keep watching. Reason 3 reveals how she uses toys to protect you, and that one will really make you rethink every sock she's ever stolen. And third, she might trot into the hallway with that plush in her mouth seconds before the doorbell rings. You think, she's just excited to greet guests. In reality, she's sounding an alarm. Wolves in the wild drop objects to signal the pack. Your dog is tipping you off to something new outside. If you race to the door, she relaxes. If you ignore it, she'll escalate, barks, scratching, maybe even pacing. Next time you catch that toy drop at the threshold, don't roll your eyes. Pause. Crouch down. Gently take the toy, look her in the eye, and say, good call, let's see. Walk to the door at her pace. You're sending the message back, I've got you covered. She'll learn that sharing her toy is a fast track to get you checking potential threats, not just an invitation to play. Then there's the less obvious scheduling tool. You'll find that tennis ball parked by your slippers at sunset. You assume she's reminding you it's fetch o'clock, but she's actually setting the evening routine. Dogs belly up to consistency, they need a defined shift from daylight play to calm night. By laying out her ball, she's saying, we're moving into our wind-down phase. When you pick it up and ask, ready for our evening game, she releases a tension she's been holding all day. But if you ignore the cue, she'll nudge you repeatedly until you acknowledge the plan. Treat that ball drop as a verbal calendar, scoop it up, say, game time, and follow through. You'll see her settle faster when the schedule matches her expectations. Up next, she'll surprise you by using her toys as mood meters, tiny weather vanes for her feelings. And that fourth insight will turn every toy drop into a conversation rather than a single request. First, let's talk about those mood meters. Why does she trot over and flop her favorite toy at your feet right when you look drained or distracted? You assume it's a simple invitation to play. But here's the part that surprises people: she's actually checking your emotional weather. Your dog picks different toys to mirror her own feelings, and to nudge you into understanding them. When she pushes that soft squeaky ball toward you after you've just slammed your laptop shut, she's saying, "I see your tension. Let's shift the mood." If she nudges you with her tug rope when you've been quiet for too long, she's warding off the cabin fever you both feel. It all boils down to pack dynamics. Dogs evolved to read the group's spirit and then react. She's using her toys as tiny signals. A plush toy means, "Comfort me," a ball means, "Let's break the ice," a rope means, "Energize me." Science suggests that dogs mirror our stress hormones over hours, so a bad day for you is a bad day for her. By presenting the right object, she's helping both of you recalibrate. Here's your quick check-in: next time she drops a toy, pause. Notice which one she chose. Ask yourself, am I anxious, bored, excited? Then respond accordingly. If it's comfort she's seeking, lean down, stroke her ears, and speak softly. If it's energy she needs, launch a 2-minute chase. You'll see her tail relax or her shoulders drop the moment you match her emotional ask. If you recognized your dog in this mood meter moment, the guide in the description will walk you through reading every subtle toy signal she's ever shown you. Open it now to learn exactly how to decode her emotional vocabulary. Now, here's something even deeper. Why does she sometimes bring you her toy right as you're stepping out the door? You'd think it's a plea to stay. In truth, it's a negotiation tactic to manage her own anxiety about change. Novelty spikes her stress hormones. By offering you her toy, she's creating a predictable routine cue. She knows that if you pick it up, you'll engage for a moment, and that brief ritual soothes her. Animal behaviorists have spotted this pattern in working breeds. Your dog learned that handing over the toy triggers your undivided attention. You inspect it, throw it, or simply acknowledge it. That momentary connection lowers her cortisol right before you leave. It's a self-regulation hack, hidden inside a game. Your takeaway: if she drops the toy as you're grabbing your keys, pause for 3 seconds. Acknowledge her gift. Say, "I'll be back soon." Then drop a calmer cue, like a favorite blanket or a low-volume radio. You'll notice she's more at ease the second you honor her mini ritual. Stay with me. In a moment, we'll uncover the 5th twist that flips every fetch session on its head, and a serious warning about misreading a toy drop in high-stress situations. You'll want to stick around for that. She isn't just asking for another game when she skitters across the yard with the same frisbee she's already had in her mouth for 5 minutes. Here's the 5th twist: she's using fetch as a pressure valve. When she hauls in that disc for the umpteenth time, she's offloading built-up adrenaline. Every sprint and every catch lets her dump a bit of nervous energy. You think it's ritual or stubbornness? Really, it's self-regulation by repetition. Watch closely next time. If she pauses at mid-stride, stares at you, then drops the toy, she's saying, "That's enough, help me calm down." If you oblige with a downstay signal instead of another toss, you'll see her shoulders loosen, her breathing slow. You've just given her the green light to switch gears from high arousal to chill. But here's the serious warning: if you misread that same toy drop during a thunderstorm or right before a vet visit, you could accidentally reinforce panic. She might fling her favorite toy toward you as a frantic plea for relief. If you treat it like a standard fetch cue and get her wound up, her anxiety spikes. Instead, respond by creating a safe space, dim lights, soft blanket, reassuring tone, then let her toy rest. Stay tuned, because next we're delving into how she uses silent stillness, no toys involved, as the ultimate trust gesture. When she settles beside you and goes perfectly still, no toys rattling, no paws moving, what's she really doing? You might think she's bored or waiting for something exciting to happen. But here's the twist, she's handing you her ultimate trust gesture. Why does your dog become a statue at your feet? Because in her mind, stillness equals safety. In wolf packs, a resting head against another pack member says, "I feel secure with you." She's borrowing your calm. She's saying, "I don't need toys or treats right now. Just your presence is enough." Dig deeper and you find a second layer. Animal behaviorists have observed that this static contact can lower both your heart rates, parasympathetic magic at work. When she rests her chin on your slipper or flops beside your chair without a sound, she's sinking into your emotional atmosphere. Research suggests her cortisol dips when yours is low. It's a bid for mutual relaxation. Then there's the emotional core. Think of every fetch session, every zoomy race. All that noise is fun, but it spikes her excitement. Stillness. That's her asking for an unplugged moment. She's offering you a genuine invitation, sit quietly. Breathe together. Recharge the bond. So what do you do next? When she goes still, don't break the spell. Resist the urge to jingle her leash or toss a ball. Instead, pause whatever you're doing. Lower your voice to a soft murmur. Let her rest her head, and feel how the room's energy shifts. You've just validated her need for calm. You've given permission for silence to work its magic. If you recognize your dog in this silent stillness, the guide in the description shows you exactly how to read and respond to these quiet trust signals at home. Just open the link in the description to get started. Now, stay with me. Next we'll uncover what happens when she suddenly freezes and stares you down in a snap decision moment. And why ignoring that could be riskier than you think. She freezes so abruptly you catch your breath. No wagging tail. No bounce. Just a rigid stillness, eyes locked on you. This isn't a new party trick. It's a primal warning sign. In the wild, a freezing wolf holds position to assess danger and signal the rest of the pack, watch this space. Your dog does the same. She's saying, something's off. I need you to make it right. Under the surface there's a cascade of physiology. Muscles tense in preparation. Adrenaline spikes, but instead of racing forward, she locks in place. That slight tremor in her front paw. It's the tremor of a soldier at parade rest, every fiber primed. Her heart pounds, pupils dilate, nostrils flare. You might even glimpse a micro yawn or a subtle lip lick as she fights between fight or flight. Those tiny signals are her way of keeping everyone, especially you, on pause. Emotionally, this pause is loaded. You might think she's waiting for a treat or bored with the game. But she's on high alert. Ignoring this freeze is like stepping on a rattlesnake's tail. If you shuffle closer or reach out with a hand, you risk moving past her invisible line. And when that line breaks, she may resort to snapping to stop you, her literal only defense. By honoring the freeze, you're rewinding the tension. Here's what to do. The moment you see that statue-like stance, drop your energy level to match hers. No sudden movements. Even your gaze needs to soften or shift sideways. Direct stares feel like threats to dogs locked in this mode. Then, with slow steps, back away to give her space. Speak in that low, soothing timbre she trusts. If she lets out a sigh or slowly breaks the stare, you know the stress cue has lifted. You'll see this freeze before storms, at the vet's door, when unfamiliar guests arrive, or even at the end of a long day when her patience runs thin. Spot it early, respect her buffer, and you'll stop fear turning into frustration. You'll build a pattern of trust. You notice, you respond, she relaxes. Now that you've learned to read her silent standstill and that flash-freeze gaze, stick around. Up next, the gentlest, most heart-melting gesture she'll ever offer, pressing her chin into your lap, and how perfectly clear that signal really is. Why does your dog press her chin into your lap? Stay with me. Here's the part that surprises people. It isn't just a sleepy head rest. It's the purest trust signal she can give. When she nudges her muzzle down, she's anchoring herself to you. Centuries ago, wolves in a pack would settle their heads on a leader's leg to feel safe, to steady their own nerves. In your living room, your dog still does that. Animal behaviorists have found that this simple chin press actually lowers her cortisol. She's borrowing your calm like a power bank, plugging into your presence so she can unwind. But there's more. Notice how she picks the spot right between your knees. That pressure point isn't random. It exaggerates her feeling of being hugged without you even lifting a finger. It's her way of saying, I want your protection, wordless and unwavering. It also signals that she's switched off vigilance. She trusts you to watch for danger so she can let her guard down completely. Here's why it matters for you: if you shift, lift, or push her chin away, even with the best intentions, you break that moment of security. You interrupt her tune-in to your calm. Instead, when she plants that fuzzy chin, pause. Let your hands rest open on your legs or whisper a single, soft word, hey, in that low, even tone she knows is safe. Keep your energy slow. No reaching for treats or picking up your phone. Just you being present. Next time she leans her head on you, feel your own breath slow. Match her state. You'll see her eyelids droop. Maybe the tail gives one slow thump. That's your cue that she's fully relaxed. From there, you're not just petting a dog, you're holding a moment of shared peace. If you recognized your dog in this chin-into-lap gesture and want to respond perfectly every time, the guide in the description shows you step-by-step how to turn these cues into a daily routine of calm and trust. Open the guide in the description. Feel her chin settle and you'll notice something subtle: the weight shifts. At first it's just the tip of her jaw, then a fraction more pressure as she seeks the exact center of your lap. That movement isn't random. She's using micro-adjustments to test how steady you are. If you wobble your leg or shift your spine, she repositions until she's perfectly balanced. That balance is her barometer for safety. When she's centered, it tells her brain, this human is as solid as a rock. Underneath, her body relaxes. You might see a gentle twitch of her lips or the slowing of her breath into a pause between each exhale. Behind the scenes, her parasympathetic system kicks in, telling her heart rate to drop a few beats. Science suggests that dogs mirror our autonomic rhythms, so when you slow your breathing, she slows hers. This is an unwritten dance: she presses down, you soften, and together you compose a quiet duet of calm. But it goes deeper. That chin-down position also grants her a strategic vantage point. From your lap, she can peek around and catch cues from your posture, your chest rising, your gaze drifting, even the slight turning of your head. Those signals feed back into her brain as reassurance. She's not just resting, she's reading you. If your shoulders slump and your eyes close, she reads contentment. If you fidget or glance at your watch, she senses restlessness and may lift her chin, ready to spring away. Knowing this, you can refine the moment. Try closing your eyes for a second, lean back just enough so your thighs form a cradle, and dim the lights if you can. Those tweaks enhance her footprint of trust. You'll find that next time, she doesn't just nudge once, she settles in like a silent assertion of partnership. And notice how the chin press often comes after a slightly tense event, perhaps a loud knock at the door or a vacuum in the corner. She's rebooting. She presses and resyncs with your internal calm. Let her stay as long as she needs, that precious pause resets her stress meter. This small gesture, repeated daily, weaves a resilient thread of security between you. It becomes your unspoken ritual, a handshake of the heart. Every chin on your lap is a quiet promise, you are her sanctuary, and in turn, she becomes yours. And there's signal 6, your dog showing up at the door with a sock or tennis ball clutched in her jaws. You've probably thought she's just begging for a game. Here's the part that surprises people, she's actually bringing you a gift to soothe her own excitement. In the wild, canines pass around prized items to calm the pack and signal it's safe to relax. By offering her toy, your dog is saying, "I'm so happy you're here, and I need you to meet me halfway." So next time she paws at you with that slobbery rope, resist the urge to chase her around. Instead, pause. Take the toy gently, hand it back once she settles. Speak in a low, even tone. Let her feel that giving and receiving this object is part of a calm routine. Number 7 changes everything. If you recognized your dog in this moment, the guide in the description shows you a step-by-step ritual for rewarding gift giving. Open the link now to build that door greeting calm your dog's been craving. Now let's shift to a more urgent cue, signal 7, the freeze and stare. You've seen it, your dog halts mid-stride, locks eyes, every muscle rigid. You assume she's listening. But beware, this is a serious warning. When she can't escape a startling noise or an unfamiliar person, she freezes to assess, fight or flight. Misreading that as mere focus can push her past her threshold. Next time she stops and stares, give her space. Step back, soften your posture, remove the trigger if you can. Then redirect her attention with a calm word or a familiar toy. You'll diffuse tension before it escalates. And finally, take a breath and notice how all these signals weave together. The look-away glance that says, "I trust you, but I'm vulnerable." The unworn yawn that whispers, "I need a moment." The lean that anchors her when she's overwhelmed. The tiny flick of her chin to reset after chaos. The gift of a toy at the door. And that freeze-frame stare when she's asking for help. Each gesture is a thread in your shared tapestry. Together, they create a silent dialogue older than words. That rough tongue, that gentle nudge, that offering of a ragged chew toy, they're the oldest language between our two species. If you've ever felt you were missing half of what your dog was saying, the guide in the description and pinned comment at thetibook.store helps you solve that. It gives you clear next steps to decode every gesture, deepen your bond, and keep your dog calm and connected. Open the link in the description and pinned comment. That's your one next action. And once you've started tuning in, you'll notice these cues popping up in everyday life. At sunrise, she yawns long before she's slept enough. That yawning isn't boredom, it's her way of buffering morning jitters. You can ease her in by speaking in that quiet, melodic tone, then sliding a soft mat under her paws. She'll catch the shift and settle faster. Later, when she edges into your space, right between your feet in the kitchen, that's not a clumsy accident. She's leaning into your center of gravity to steady her own. Instead of scolding, swivel slowly, pat your hip, and let her press. It's her invitation to say, "I trust you to hold the world steady." Watch the moment she presses her chin against your hand after a thunderclap. That's the reboot in action, recalibrating her nerves. If you're jittery yourself, her chin will bounce off your palm as though she's checking your signal. Keep your palm flat and still. That silence speaks louder than any treat. And those freeze and stare episodes, sometimes they come when the vacuum cleaner roars to life. Don't rush over. Step back. Let her choose her distance. When she finally looks away, that's your cue to calmly pocket the plug and reward her calm decision with a gentle scratch behind the ears. These patterns aren't random. They're a continuous conversation you're now fluent in. Every subtle glance, every toy offered, every lean or freeze is her way of saying, walk with me in this moment. Honor them, and you'll find your days threaded through with shared calm and mutual respect. That rough tongue, that patient gaze, that little offering of a ragged ball, they're the oldest language between our two species.